If you're 6'3" like me and 17, 18 stone, and you like to stand up for yourself, you're gonna get into trouble, aren't you? But I wasn't bothered about fighting. I thought I'll have a fight with anybody. Win, lose or draw, I'm out there. Shirt off, done and dusted. You know, what can you get? A few cuts and bruises, maybe on tooth miss, sprained nose or something. Man got cheeky to me, was getting it. Right hand.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. I don't think I let myself down there, but I didn't want to get in the ring to then have a roll around. Didn't fancy it, but I was looking round for you. Even you missed.
All my life as a boxer to get to this point. I'm the #1 challenger, mandatory challenger. He said, I'll never get this slot again. I'll fight and I'll still beat him. No matter how I feel on the night, I won't feel like
I'm a machine! Me! And can anybody question who I am here? If I say, come on, we're fighting, men!
He promised me unequivocally that he would smash John Fury to pieces should the event actually happen. Again, you're looking at a former world champion in Carl Froch. You're looking at a former, he's a Hall of Famer, Carl Froch. You don't get into the Hall of Fame, the International Boxing Hall of Fame, without having been pretty damn decent in your own professional career.
What began as a routine sit-down between two bitter rivals reportedly turned into complete chaos when tensions between John Fury and Carl Froch exploded. The conversation started with sharp words, familiar boxing bravado, and plenty of hostility. But as the atmosphere became increasingly tense, the situation allegedly crossed a line when John Fury...
Fortunately, that's me. I change in seconds, you know what I'm saying? I can go from being like this to being the wildest person in the world in about a second and a half.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just how I am, you know, and things do... If I'm around rowdiness and fighting, I want to fight.
Fury lost his temper and headbutt Carl Froch, turning a promotional meeting into a shocking physical confrontation within seconds. The alleged incident immediately sent shockwaves through the boxing world. John Fury has never been known...
You know, in that respect, I think it was out of character for John. Really? Like, how many times has he squared up to someone or shouted at someone and not done anything? But that's okay. I'd rather that. I think it's good for the fight and it's good for the show. This was different. This was...
for quietly accepting criticism. His reputation has been built around confrontation, intimidation, and an unwillingness to back down. But this time, the situation reportedly became physical, leaving even experienced...
Behaved like a thug in a disgusting manner, and then he's able to just laugh it off and joke it off and say, you know what, anyone comes near me, they're going to get a headbutt. So it's kind of justified what he's done. He's been vindicated for what he's done, as in, yeah, it's okay to go around like that and behave like an imbecile, and then still laugh and joke and still threaten to headbutt me in belly. I've told you what I think about headbutting this too. You know that's not...
Boxing figures questioning how far the rivalry had gone. Eddie Hearn has witnessed countless heated exchanges involving John Fury, but the alleged headbutt represented something different. When shouting turns into physical contact, the entire...
pressure is now on John to behave himself. He's distracted a lot of attention and talk, and I'm quite sure someone will have a word with Matt, the authorities will have...
Entire dynamic changes. What might normally be dismissed as promotional trash talk suddenly becomes a much more serious matter. Carl Froch, however, has shown no indication that he intends to retreat.
It wouldn't surprise me, but like I say, I don't see there's any harm in it. It doesn't bring the sport into disrepute in any way. This is the show business world that we live in. There's the fight game and then there's the fight business. And from the business perspective, that's probably just sold another 1 million tickets worldwide to people to watch this.
Former world champion has responded with a confidence that made him one of Britain's most respected fighters. Froch spent years competing against elite opposition, winning world titles and proving himself under pressure. He has no reason to be intimidated.
He's an emotional being, gets into the moment, forgets himself. You can see, excuse the bad language, but this is, you know, when you see that, this is the moment when he realised he beat up. It was that, you know, when John had done it, like, shit, what have they done? But he had to own it. I think the pressure was on. The pressure is now on John to behave himself. He's distracted. A lot of attention and talk, and I'm quite sure someone will have a word with him out. The authorities will have a word with him out there.
Intimidated by verbal threats. Johnny Nelson has also raised concerns about John Fury's increasingly explosive behavior. The issue is not simply that Fury becomes emotional. It is that his emotions can reportedly
John Fury, and that light bulb switches on. You know that Carl Froch is a bad man. He was when he was fighting, and he's probably got that same spite in him now. And if he lands one on Fury, then it could be quite devastating. And Froch has always been quite heavy-handed. Look what he did to George Groves. Ironed him out, and George Groves was world-class at that time. So everybody knows that the last thing you lose in boxing, if you're a natural puncher like a Froch, is your punch. And Froch, listen, Fury wouldn't be able to get out of the way of that. He doesn't know how to get out of the way of that. He couldn't get out of the way of that. And I'm sure if Froch anytime Froch is ready to close that one out, it's a done deal. That's right.
lead to reckless decisions. With every confrontation, the pressure surrounding him continues to grow, and the consequences of another incident could become even greater. Duke McKenzie sees
It's going to be dangerous. Like, all the attributes that he has, they still exist, regardless of his mental state. But I see a kid in pain, I've got to be honest with you, like, I don't see how people around him can be looking at his behaviour and being comfortable with it. And I don't.
different side of the controversy. To him, boxing's ability to turn drama into attention is impossible to ignore. Controversy creates headlines. Headlines create interest, and interest can eventually translate.
Daniel does do anything to drum something up. I think he just wants the Froch fight. I think Froch just called him a little bit on YouTube. But, I think Carl got uncomfortable. Darren's a fucking lunatic. So, last thing he wants, Darren still jumping out the ring to you, fucking threatening to choke you and all that, you know what I mean? So, it's the last thing I'd want anyway. So, I think Carl just got off rather than have the aggro of, Darren still in front of him, screaming, shouting and spitting in his face.
Played into money. The alleged confrontation may have embarrassed some observers, but it has also made the rivalry significantly more compelling to fans. That creates an uncomfortable contradiction. Boxing...
Great promotion. I think it's great promotion. I think it's ugly. I think it's
not a cheap shot.
But they don't. Of course, it's a cheap shot.
Do you know what I'm surprised, Simon?
Boxing is littered with cheap shots.
They don't need to sell the fight, really, do they?
Exactly, Danny. Well, they do and they don't. To the boxing world,
Pay-per-view, you mean?
Yeah.
Simon, people see through it.
There's only one thing worse than people talking about you. It's people not talking about you.
Yeah, but it's how they're talking about you. Look at the messages coming.
Can condemn the behavior while simultaneously benefiting from the attention it generates. Johnny Nelson has hinted that officials could eventually become involved if the situation continues escalating. What began as a war of words could develop into a disciplinary or legal issue if physical confrontations continue. John Fury may have created a problem that cannot simply be dismissed as another promotional stunt. Duke McKenzie has also reminded...
But there's always idiots, isn't there? And at the end of the day, you come face to face with a fighting man, you're going to get something, aren't you? Or else the fighting man ain't supposed to be what he is he? And I'm John Fury.
Is it personal?
The only John Fury, that's me.
Everyone of the danger represented by Carl Froch. During his championship career, Froch shared the ring with some of the most dangerous fighters in the sport and became known for his power and durability. His ability to hurt elite opponents is part of his legacy, and provoking him could carry consequences if the rivalry eventually reaches the ring. Eddie Hearn's comments about John Fury being a man carrying deep emotional pain add another dimension. The aggression may not simply be promotional. It could be connected to years of pressure,
Yeah, I mean, listen, it's boxing, it's family. John's John. Both goading each other. Both very personal. Both means a lot to everybody. Shouldn't have done it.
family loyalty, and a determination to never appear weak. Liam Smith has viewed the situation as an example of boxing hype going too far. Carl Froch may have entered the confrontation expecting another exchange of insults, only for the situation to reportedly spiral into something far more uncomfortable. Now Froch appears determined to settle the rivalry properly. Rather than continuing an endless argument, Froch has reportedly accepted the challenge and made it clear that he wants
Another running video this morning, but not just a running video. I'm going to be the first man to fight a 3-time Hall of Famer. We're just doing it myself. John Fury style. running, bare knuckle, heavy bag, eating, living in the woods, chopping trees, eating the filth of the earth. I'm doing it gypsy style. I'm going to prove to everybody out there where there's
official fight. If John Fury truly believes in his own toughness, Froch's message is straightforward. Prove it under boxing rules. John Fury, meanwhile, has continued projecting an image of complete defiance. Instead of showing remorse, he reportedly remains dismissive of his critics and appears determined to maintain his old-school warrior persona. That image is central to his identity. John Fury portrays himself as a rugged fighter who trusts toughness, instinct, and raw determination rather than modern training.
Anybody over 50, I'll fight him. 'Cause I'm a fighting man. Any man born from his mother, I'll fight him. Over 50 years old, on the hard road, in the ring, in the pub, in the back of a gypsy caravan site. You're not a fighting man, because I'll have a fight with you. I'll fight you for a fiver. I'll beat you for a tenner. I'll do you both for 15. Whew, I've got to take a breather, listen.
Methods. He wants people to believe that hardship itself has forged him into someone capable of challenging a former world champion. Froch represents the opposite philosophy. His confidence comes from experience, discipline, championship-level preparation, and years spent fighting the best in the world. While John Fury relies heavily on intimidation and personality, Froch can point directly to his professional record. Liam Goff has suggested that the rivalry may have deeper roots than the latest confrontation. Previous disagreements reportedly involved money and whether John Fury would be willing to fight.
John Fury was doing that and goading Carl Froch. And I know John Fury doesn't like Carl Froch. Carl Froch mentions him, although I haven't really watched much of Carl Froch's videos lately. But Carl Froch, I know, has mentioned John Fury in the past. He's had a go with John Fury. They actually talked about having an actual, was it an exhibition or a boxing type match? And John Fury, any man, anytime, was saying words to the effect of, "Oh, I'll fight you, Carl Froch, but the money has to be right." And Carl Froch basically said, "All right, well, if we arrange payment..."
Froch's reported willingness to direct payment toward charity only intensified the contrast between their positions. Gareth A. Davies has offered another possible explanation for Fury's behavior, pointing toward his intense paternal instincts. John Fury has repeatedly demonstrated that protecting his sons is one of the strongest forces behind his confrontational personality. When he believes his family has been challenged, his emotions can become extremely intense. But whatever the motivation, the alleged headbutt has changed the story. The feud is no longer simply about insults,
What John does, he's very, very, very passionate around his sons when they're fighting, and it gets something out of him. I spoke to him, literally face to face, and I said, well, what is upset? He said, I don't want people calling me out because I'll take any man on. Yeah. You know the comments. Yeah. My guy.
Personalities or promotional hype. Eddie Hearn's concerns, Johnny Nelson's warnings, Duke McKenzie's comments about Froch's power, and Froch's determination to settle the matter have pushed this rivalry toward a potential breaking point. The biggest question now is whether the confrontation remains a war of words or eventually becomes an official fight. Carl Froch appears ready to settle the issue inside the ring. John Fury has built his reputation around never backing down. But if this rivalry reaches an official contest, reputation alone will not be enough. The alleged headbutt may have lasted only seconds, but its impact could last much longer. The boxing world is watching closely, and every future encounter between John Fury and Carl Froch is likely to carry even greater tension. For now, one thing is certain. This feud is far from finished, and the fallout from this explosive confrontation could dominate boxing headlines for weeks to come.